Hi, I'm going to present on using FamilySearch in the community college setting. This presentation is transferable to kind of all platforms or different places. You could take, instead of using it in a community college setting, you could take it to your church, you could do it for a youth group, you could do it in any setting, and it didn't have to be FamilySearch, it could be Ancestry or another platform. We chose FamilySearch, and we like that. One of the features we like is that it's free. So anyone can use it free of charge, which makes it way less intimidating to someone who's new to genealogy. They don't have to invest any money or feel committed for a year. It also then provides billions of index records and so much functionality to connect their family to the global family tree. The details of our specific program are that we're in the Houston area. We're working with Lone Star Community College through their adult lifelong learning program. That means all of our students are 50 years of age or older. But again, this is easily adapted to any audience. So the facilities that we need for our class, we began teaching in person. We go into a computer lab on campus, and we need a projector so the teacher can show the presentation. Because of COVID, we figured out how to do it on Zoom using breakout rooms in a very similar manner, where we present to the big group at the beginning, and then we break out into breakout rooms, and we put one student and one helper in each breakout room. Our class format is that we teach this class twice a year. Each session is 5 to 6 weeks long. When they show up at class, they know it's going to be 2 hours. They'll have 20 minutes of instruction, followed by an hour and 40 minutes of computer work time. This is critical for the success of our program, we've found, because they learn the program in the presentation, but then they get hands-on training doing their own personal family tree. We make sure we have volunteers there to help in the classroom setting. We have at least a ratio of 1 to 5, one helper to 5 students. That way, when a student runs into a roadblock and doesn't know what to do, they just raise their hand and a helper will come over and answer their questions. On Zoom, it's been a little more challenging because just the format of it, we end up needing 1-to-1, one helper, one student. We use share screen. So it's more intensive on how many volunteers we need, but it's still been very, very effective. We also are able then, when we do it in the classroom setting, we must have people that live close enough and can drive over to the community college. When we've done it on Zoom, we were able to expand our pool of volunteers. You can get them from all over the country or the world. So what you'll need to create your class, you'll have to put together lesson modules to present to your students. In our case, we use PowerPoint. And then, of course, the volunteers. The limitations of our class has definitely been, we've been constrained based on how many computers are in the lab or the number of volunteer helpers I can get to show up in a particular week. Now, we're doing FamilySearch in our class. The modules follow this pattern. Week 1, we do getting started. We help the students set up their free account, give them a tour of the software. That includes general navigation, toolbars, different tools, different views. And then we get them to begin inputting their own personal data. I make sure that before the class begins, with the invitation email, I send all the students requesting that if they have any written documents, maybe a pedigree chart, a family Bible with a list of people and birth and death dates, bring some data, some information that you can begin to put into the computer. That way they're prepared to do the work in the classroom. Week 2, then we get into editing, because certainly someone made a mistake when they inputted something. So we show them how to edit what's already on their tree, how to merge a duplicate that might pop up. We start using record hints within the program, and just the beginning of searching records and attaching sources we might find. Week 3, now we have a little more experience under our belt. So we dive deeper into searching records on FamilySearch. We also talk about partner sites and how you can access Ancestry and all the different partner sites as if you go in to one of the genealogical libraries by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Or in our area, we have several community libraries that also have the same access. So we encourage research in person in those places so that you can have more record. We talk about attaching other internet sources like the Find a Grave and how you might utilize Google Maps to like zoom in on an area and see if maybe this town is next to that town. When you're looking in data and you don't recognize the city name of this, well, go look and see where that is. Do you recognize a town that's, 3 miles away? Maybe it is a legitimate source. Talk about the research wiki and how to connect with a greater genealogical research community and how to get help from people that are researching in your same area or your same kind of a project. And then help resources, which includes the 1-800 number and chatting with the FamilySearch help people, as well as, again, going into those libraries. Week 4, we talk about adding memories, taking photos. I email them ahead and I say, please bring 10 photos that you would like to put on your tree of ancestors. Then we work with them to take photos with their phones and we email it or tag it, or we sometimes get them to use the app to put them in automatically. We talk about how to tag the photos with all the people that are in it, adding titles, descriptions, also adding journals and documents. Week 5, we go into the Family Tree app. You can totally use that to do a lot of your research. It looks different, however, than when you're doing on a computer. A lot of people want to use the app on their tablet. So we talk about that and how to navigate the app. We of course have this 50 plus students, 50 years old and older. So a lot of them have grandkids. In FamilySearch, there are a lot of fun family history games and activities. We show them all of that and they appreciate that because it's a way that they can make genealogy fun to their grandkids. So they'll take the game or the photos and have the grandkids say, which ancestor do I look most like? So we spend a little time on some of the fun stuff. And then a highlight of every time, by the time you're at week 5, most people have their tree connected at least on 1 or 2 lines back quite a long ways. Then we're able to run within the app the relatives around me feature in the family tree. And it's fun to see the students realize that they're actually connected on a line to someone else that's sitting there in that classroom. Last week is indexing. What is indexing? How do I do it? And why is it important? A lot of our students by this point are very grateful and want to understand how they can give back to the effort. So we make sure we explain it, and then we let everyone do at least a batch with us helping. And then we do spend the rest of the time on their personal tree if they prefer it, or they can continue indexing and get more experience. This is just an example of a sample presentation page that we might put up during our class instruction time. This one happens to be, what does a person page look like? What are all the things I can click? You see that we put a green box. This is the person ID number. Why is that important? And that's what I'll verbally explain as I go through my lesson. And a second example of a presentation page. This is when you're in the person page, again, on the left side, I'll tell them the left side is going to be the spouse and children. On the right side is going to be the parents and siblings. When you click on Mary's name, summary card, and then how do I get to the person page? So we really go through the nuts and bolts of how to navigate and how to do different things. Most of the presentation slides are screenshots with explanations. We found that to be very helpful. We make sure we also email this out so they can have it as a reference point when they're at home working. Thank you, and I wish you the best of luck as you teach the community members about family history in whatever platform and you prefer.